Please enjoy watching it.
The first story. Ultimate revenge on my sister's cheating ex. My sister's husband cheated on her with a friend of hers. Then he screwed my sis out of their house and most of the money in the divorce. She was devastated, but eventually she moved on. Meanwhile, the ex married the mistress, who he'd gotten pregnant while still married to my sis. A few years later, my sis was cleaning up her email accounts when she noticed she still had Epps' account on her computer. Out of curiosity, she logged in and saw that he'd received an automated email from Ashley Madison saying his account is now active. Remember that website? It's where married people connected to cheat on their spouses. She went on Ashley Madison, and sure enough, he had an account. Lesson: always change your email passwords after a divorce. Lol. When she told me, I had the most devious idea. I created a fake Ashley Madison account, pretending I was a very attractive married woman in his city who wanted to cheat. I sent him a wink, he bit, and we began talking, and then planning on getting together for sex. He got very graphic in what he wanted to do, and how his wife never wanted to put out. He also included a lot of detail about his life, his job, negative comments about his wife, stuff only he could know. I strung him along for weeks. We exchanged well over 100 messages. Finally, we made plans to get together at a motel near his house. Of course, nobody showed up, but I sent him a message late that night, thanking him for the fantastic sex. Then I printed out the entire message exchange and sent it to his wife's office. She obviously bought it. He was livid and sent angry messages to my fake account. But I convinced him that my husband had somehow broken into my account, and that's who mailed it to her. He believed me. She left him, got the house and full custody of their kid, and alimony. This was years ago, and he's never remarried, and still lives in a crappy apartment, and has no idea who did this to him. No regrets. The second story. Cheating wife, cold, calculated, public revenge. So I was a coach at a club for many years. You could hire the bar and hall out. One of the kids I coach got married, no longer a kid, and we booked the bar for his wife's birthday. 25th, I think it was, which was a bit after her actual birthday. My friend bought her a new phone for a birthday, and this is how he found out. Apparently, he picked up her phone by mistake and went to work. She called him to tell him, but he was on the train, so couldn't come back. But she was reluctant to give him the password. I was told by his brother that he saw a message alert early in the morning. That was not what a husband would want to see. It's not hard to get access to a phone if you are willing to YouTube how. At the party, when everyone was there, he grabs the mic and says he wants to make an announcement. It went something like this. I thought I would do something really memorable for Charlie, Charlotte, and he rolls out this projector and starts showing pictures from all her birthdays. It starts with some old vids and pics of her at all her other birthdays, family, nans, etc. Then he says, last year, she made me the most happy man alive. There was some pics from the honeymoon, a video. Everyone is loving it. Chalice is crying. Her friends are all crying. Then he has edited it so the clip of them on a beach has an old school record scratch and it stops. And everyone is puzzled. So, imagine my surprise when I accidentally take her phone to work and she doesn't want me to have her password as it's the breach of her privacy. She has mine. I have zero to hide. Words to that effect. So it got me wondering, what's on there? I mean, she starts freaking out, and he starts showing all the text messages and a couple of blurred out pictures and screen caps of videos. It left no one in any doubt she was cheating. But some of the messages she sent, saying some pretty disrespectful and hurtful things, well, not many people were her fans. Apparently, the guy she was cheating with was there, and he made a sharp exit. Work, colleague. So to mark this momentous occasion, I got you this, and his brother hands him an envelope, and he passes it to her. I think you can go home with whoever you want, but we're done. And literally drops the mic, walks away with his brother and parents, and his close mates. Left me and the staff to listen to her and her family make it out she was the victim. Sadly, she did better than him in the divorce. She used this as evidence of him being cruel to her and abusive. Third story. AITA, revenge on my cheating. 28 males, husband before we separate indefinitely. After 8 years of what I thought was a healthy and loving relationship, I found out my 28 male husband had been living a double life in the entire relationship. I've made a post about the extent of his cheating, if you'd like to read it for some context. But basically, our relationship has come to an end. He doesn't want it to end, but I deserve better, so I'm ending things. In the past, I would constantly take the high road when I would find things out about him, forever being the bigger person. That was, of course, until he took it too far. I snapped. Below, I have listed things I've done to get back at him. He was trying his hardest to chat up girls, and for the most part was getting rejected. No one wanted to meet up with him. That weekend, I found out. I made a Tinder and matched with a shit ton of guys. Literally handpicked a guy I wanted to fuck. Told my husband what I was about to do. He watched me get all dolled up and walk out of the house. All it took was for me to send one message, and I ended up fucking this Tinder guy. 33. M. In the back of his work vehicle, multiple times that night. I went home afterwards and told my husband what I did, to show him that while he was out trying to cheat on me, I always had the power to, yet never did. All the things he wanted to do to other girls, men were wanting to do to me. That night, I took pleasure in watching him cry. He lost his appetite and didn't eat nor sleep that night. and I could hear him a few times throwing up. I've slept with this Tinder guy multiple times now and have gone on multiple dates. I've watched my husband almost have a panic attack or feel sick to his stomach when I say I'm going out. I legally changed our kids' names to my last name, stripped him of the honor of having our kids share his last name. I saw his messages telling girls he didn't have a wife and he didn't have kids. I didn't care about denying me, but denying our beautiful children's existence for pussy? Fuck off. It's also a double whammy, seeing as I am giving birth to his first and only son, soon, who will carry on my last name. When he gets old and dies, none of his kids will have his last name, nor will our legacy that is our grandchildren. I talked him into getting a vasectomy. It was something we agreed on before the cheating came out, because I was done with kids and birth control. But since his cheating stuff came out, it's been a case of revenge too. He was thinking about not getting it done, saying, "Well, you're leaving me anyway." Managed to talk him into it. I got a high when it was done, knowing that if he wanted to start a new family after us, I now have robbed him of ever being able to reproduce. Plus, with his lustful hunger, my kids won't have to worry about having multiple half-siblings running around. I'm done with having children, but the fact I still can is also like a aha moment. 3. Lastly, I've been feeding him false hope that we're going to stay together. He knows that after 8 long years of me giving him chance after chance and him blowing it by constantly cheating, he knows he's reached the end. So he is desperately wanting to do anything so I don't leave. I'm going to talk him into getting my name tattooed on him, permanently marked on his body, simply because he'll look like a complete idiot afterwards. The whole relationship. He took me for granted. He was a narcissist. He'd gaslight me when I would get suspicious. He was a compulsive liar and serial cheater. I grew our children. I sacrificed so much time, energy, and parts of myself for this man. Years of my life gone. He manipulated me into staying with him because he chose to live a double life. I know I look like a bitter bitch, but I had to get it out of my system. The 4th story. My ex got revenge on me in the worst way possible, and I have no way to clear my name. Last year, I cheated on my ex-girlfriend of 8 years, Annie, with a colleague, Jess, who I now have a 3-week-old son with. I have no excuse. It cost me my job and the majority of my friendships, along with the love of a good woman. I deserved it all, and I have never expected any sympathy for my actions. Annie delivered my stuff to my parents' house before I even knew she knew about the cheating. She didn't even confront me. She just cut me out of her life without a word. I messaged everyone we knew, begging them to ask her to talk to me. And I sent hundreds of messages telling her how much I regretted everything and wanted her back. I never got a response. Just saw the messages, and it obviously caused issues between us in the beginning. But she fell pregnant quickly, so we moved past it for the sake of our family together. which we both wanted. I am 100% committed to the relationship and haven't even looked at another woman since things settled down. In the final stretch of Jess's pregnancy, about a month ago, I saw Annie in a shop for the first time since the breakup. She was pretty cold towards me, but said that a few months ago, she found a keychain my granddad got me when I was very young. It's not valuable, but she knows it means a lot to me. And she said I could come collect it the following Saturday morning. I explained that was 6 days after Jess was due to give birth, so I'd probably need to be home. But she just said I could either get it on Saturday or it was going in the bin. So I agreed a time to go over. My son was born a few days late, but he's perfectly healthy and wonderful. So he was less than 24 hours old on the Saturday I needed to collect the keychain. I planned to pop in on the way to the hospital, but when I got to my old house, Annie invited me in to talk about how things ended between us. I thought we had a good conversation and that both of us walked away with closure. She let me apologize for the way I treated her, wished me the best with my new family, and hugged me as I left. I admit I held on tightly for the hug, but it was purely because of the relief, not lingering feelings. I spent less than an hour at her house, then headed to the hospital. I didn't tell Jess about any of this because I know she still feels insecure about Annie, and I didn't want to add fuel to that. When I arrived at the hospital after seeing Annie, Jess had revoked my access, and the ward manager wouldn't tell me why. I ended up being removed by a security guard because I was denied seeing my son for the second time ever, and didn't respond well to being blindsided. I tried calling Jess and her mom over and over, and the only response I got was a screen recording of a message from Annie. It was doorbell footage of me walking through the door at 9:30, then back out just after 10:15. And the hug is only partly caught, so it does look like we could have been kissing. The message Annie sent with it said, "Did he even shower and change his clothes between me and holding his son? Congratulations on being stuck with him for the next 18 years. I hope it's everything you dreamed of." No one believes this is a setup at all. It's something I would never have expected from Annie, and no one else would either. So they're completely rejecting the idea that this is a lie. I sent her a message asking why she did this, assuming I'd still be blocked. Her response was that she wasn't going to let me play innocent, and that I may have deleted all of our messages over the past few months, but she hasn't. Obviously, there are no messages. But she blocked me again straight after, so I have nothing at all to exonerate myself with. She waited in silence for almost a year, then took the most cruel and vindictive revenge she possibly could. I have met my son once, minutes after he was born, and now Jess is refusing any contact with me and won't let me see him. Court will take months, and my heart hurts every minute of every day. I know what I did to Annie was horrible, but I don't deserve this. I have no one to talk to about it because not even my own mother believes me. Her only question was why I ruined my life with a baby when Annie was willing to reconcile. And that's about the most supportive thing she said to me since I was dumped. The few friends who stuck with me are assuming the worst too. And it's killing me that not a single person I know sees this for what it is. Everything is ruined. The fifth story. This was nearly 20 years ago. My pal discovered her husband of 20 plus years was cheating on her when one of his mates phoned her and told her all about, including name and address of woman. When she confronted him, he admitted everything and moved out. He promptly stopped paying anything for their school-age child, and she was really struggling. It was common knowledge that his new woman didn't work and was on benefits, and my pal was told he had a new family to look after. In his eyes, her 4 kids were now more important than his own child. That's how despicable he was, and his attitude just destroyed the kid he dumped. It was after this that somebody reported the woman for benefit fraud. Having a high earner move into her home as a partner has to be declared. And when asked how they knew he had definitely moved in, they replied that he was getting his bank statements sent to her house, which is basically a gold standard in terms of a paper trail. An investigator was sent out immediately, and a few days later, the cheating ex phoned my pal, all upset, cause the DSS had stopped all the woman's benefits, and she had promptly thrown him out. Funnily enough, my pal didn't take him back. And when his abandoned child got married, she didn't even invite him to the wedding, far less walk him down the aisle. Who on earth could have phoned the DSS? Could it have been a fellow civil servant who knew exactly what evidence was required to make the official wheels move fast? Did my pal know such a person? I couldn't possibly say. A few years later, pal was settled and building a new life and much happier. The sixth story. Revenge cheated, but I regret it. I've been in a LDR with my girlfriend for almost a year now. We started dating last year, but hadn't met in person until last August, since we were both busy in college, and I didn't have the means that time. On February this year, I found out that during those first few months, she had 2 hookups, 1 fling and 1 one-night stand. When she told me, she reassured me that it stopped before we met and that there was no penetration, only oral sex. Despite my heart sinking, I gave her a second chance because I still love her deeply and want her in my life. I wasn't perfect either. I watched to alleviate my loneliness when we weren't together, which hurt her confidence when she found it. So I gradually stopped, and it's non-existent in my life now. However, the pain of her actions sometimes becomes unbearable, leading me to lash out on chat, but never in person, become suspicious, and feel all the things someone cheated on might feel. Yet, I would always apologize afterwards because I had chosen to give her another chance, even though my heart struggled to move past the betrayal. We've been working on reconciliation, and she promised it wouldn't happen again. But my doubts and anger sometimes took over, especially during times when I was alone and she couldn't be there to comfort me due to the distance. There were moments when I wanted revenge. In a moment of weakness, I contacted 2 hookers and mindlessly bought some nudes. I even asked about their services, but couldn't go through with it because I knew how much it would hurt her, thinking how it had tormented me, imagining her doing it with others when we were together. And it's just pure evil if I continued it. I regret doing it afterwards and realized that my anger was just my overthinking, and I kept forgetting that she now chose me over those guys. But sometimes the pain is just too much, and I didn't really have any means to vent it all out when I had those thoughts. Then I deleted all the conversations, or so I thought. Unfortunately, when we met again, she discovered that I had contacted hookers. I had forgotten to delete one piece of evidence. She was furious, slapped me, threw my phone, and walked out. I felt I deserved it and deeply regret my actions. I still really want our relationship to continue because I truly believe she has changed and worked hard to regain my trust. Now, we're talking about how to move forward, despite her trust already broken. She wants proof that I didn't book any services, but I can't provide it, since everything is deleted. I need advice on how to proceed. How can we rebuild our relationship after this? Is there a way to regain trust and move forward, or is it time to let go? Any advice or similar experiences would be appreciated.
Subscribe, like, and write in the comments what you think about these stories. Goodbye.